Constant emotional outbursts, mood swings, meltdowns, anger, and no impulse control. For many parents whose children struggle with emotional dysregulation, this list is literally your everyday life. This constant struggle leaves parents desperately looking for answers from teachers and therapists and doctors and all sorts of other specialists. And most parents that we've talked to have tried everything from the classic first moves like reward charts or punishments to essential oils and deep breathing techniques and supplements and so forth, all the things, right? And for many parents, they've even already had to turn to the last resort, which is medications for anxiety and depression and ADHD and even more. Even when medication steps in and improves the symptoms of emotional dysregulation, most parents are still up at night searching for safer, natural, drug-free options to help get to the root cause of their kiddos' challenges instead of just covering up the symptoms with medications, which really can, over time, create dependency and addiction. That's why it's so exciting and important to explain to parents that the real root cause of emotional dysregulation lies within the brain and the nervous system from a more functional standpoint, not just a chemical imbalance, as they have really always been told. When the nervous system becomes overstressed and imbalanced and dysregulated, a child's emotions and behavior are sure to follow, for sure, no doubt. Take a deep breath. We're going to dig in with this video. Mom and dad, it's not simply a genetic condition or something you're not doing. The real root cause of your child's emotional dysregulation may be a simpler, more straightforward answer than you think. So let's dive into it. I want to tell you a story about Kaya. Kaya's an incredible girl with a beautiful personality, but her inability to regulate emotions was growing into an everyday challenge. It was exhausting. Anytime she was triggered, it would completely change the dynamic of the day. Transitions at home, car rides, and being in public areas were becoming completely overwhelming for her. Parents had literally already tried everything from essential oils and those soothing techniques that we've mentioned, and even previous chiropractic care, but nothing really seemed to help that little girl feel like herself again. Mom said it felt like she'd never grow out of it, and she followed her intuition that there was something more that could be done. When they got under the right chiropractic care and got Kaya's neurological scans done, they finally understood exactly why she was reacting the way she was. Her nervous system was so wound up and it was stuck on the gas pedal, unable to adapt to her environment. What Mom actually said was we felt so thankful there was actual evidence and answers to what was happening with our baby girl. So as Kaya had progressed through her care plan, their family celebrated some really big wins, both expected and completely unexpected. Not only could she regulate her emotions more quickly than ever before, but Mom said this: she hasn't had a fever since we started in June. Her tumble coach noticed her balance improved, and she's regular with her bowels now. That's freaking huge, right? Amazing change for her. So I want to help you understand the nervous system role in all of this. The nervous system is very much literally the command center of your child's entire body. And the autonomic nervous system is responsible for regulating emotions and stress responses. The autonomic nervous system has two key branches. We talked about them before: the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight mode. Imagine this as really the gas pedal that revs the engine and it keeps the body in a high alert state. It's great when we need to respond to danger, but when we get stuck in that hyper overdrive situation, it creates constant instability and emotional stress. The parasympathetic nervous system is the other side, and you can think of this as the brake pedal that helps the body slow down and process emotions and regulate stress effectively, the resting, healing, digesting side. So when these systems are out of balance, when the gas pedal is pressed down way too hard for too long, it becomes nearly impossible for a child to regulate their emotions, and that leads to meltdowns, anxiety, and behavioral struggles. So when a child has this imbalance of gas and brake pedal, we call this the perfect storm, and it's hardwired at an early age of life for many kids. So what if I told you that many of your child's challenges that they experience today didn't start just barely recently? In fact, the nervous system may have primed them for dysregulation long before they were even born. So there are several early life stressors that can contribute to nervous system imbalance. First, high maternal stress during pregnancy. When a mom experiences high stress while pregnant, the baby's developing nervous system is actually also affected, and this can lead to an overly sensitive stress response right from birth. Things like birth interventions, C-sections, forceps, and vacuum extractions that can actually cause physical strain on the baby's delicate nervous system. And this ultimately leads to misalignment and imbalance that interfere with emotional regulation. So that's why a kiddo gets stuck, right? The overuse of antibiotics and medications, while sometimes can be necessary, repeated antibiotic use has been shown, and other medications have been shown to disrupt the gut-brain connection. Since 80% of our serotonin, our feel-good neurotransmitter, is produced in the gut, this imbalance can impact emotions significantly. Environmental toxins and poor diet are a huge contributor too. Processed foods, artificial additives, and exposure to toxins can disrupt neurotransmitter balance, and that leads to emotional instability and mood swings. All of these factors, if we combine them together, this is what we call the perfect storm. A situation where your child's nervous system is constantly in this high alert mode and they're struggling to process emotions in a healthy way. When a child experiences these stressors, their nervous system, it kind of shifts into a chronic sympathetic dominant state. And I say kind of, it does shift to a chronic sympathetic dominant state, meaning their gas pedal's literally all the way down, it's pressed down constantly, and their body struggles to switch into a calmer, restorative mode of the parasympathetic system. This imbalance is called dysautonomia, and it leads to a bunch of different things. Let me list them off here, or just a few of them. Increased emotional outbursts, trouble transitioning between activities, sleep disturbances, sensory sensitivities, heightened anxiety and difficulty calming down, all these things, and more, right? So why do the traditional approaches fail? Why do they often fall short? The truth is this: medications may mask symptoms, but they don't address the nervous system dysregulation at its root. Behavioral therapy alone may not be effective if the nervous system is still in a dysregulated state, meaning everything's hyperactive. Adding those therapies in just kind of adds on top of the storm because their body's already too dysregulated. A neurologically focused root cause approach is really necessary to create long-lasting change. So how do we find the root cause of nervous system imbalance? At Renegade Chiropractic, we use cutting-edge technology called insight scans, and what it helps us do is it helps see where in the nervous system is the issue. Let's pinpoint it, let's measure it, and then identify subluxation, sympathetic dominance, and nervous system dysregulation. And these scans really give us the clearest picture of what's going on inside your child's nervous system and helps us develop a customized plan to bring back balance and calm back into their life. So if you're ready to take the next step, just visit the link in our bio, or you can shoot us a DM and schedule your child scans. We'll get to the root of what's truly going on. What we do is we actually sit down with you and we figure out, okay, what's going on? When did this all happen? We walk through that perfect storm. We say, okay, if your child's this age now, let's reverse engineer and kind of look, hey, where were they? Where are we going now? And then we can start to help them regulate emotionally and socially.